Hey guys, Luke here, and I'm here to preview the Four Nations Grand Final between the New Zealand Kiwis and the Australian Kangaroos. So let's get into the New Zealand lineup. So we've got Peter Hiku, Jason Nightingale, Sean Kenny-Dowell, Dean Viro, Moni Vadavai, Kieran Foran, Sean Johnson, Jesse Bromwich, Isaac Luke, Adam Blair, Simon Merring, Kevin Proctor and Jason Taumalolo. The bench is Lewis Brown, Greg Eastwood, Martin Tapau, Tohu Harris, Gerard Beale and Bodine Thompson. The Kangaroo side is as follows. We've got Greg Inglis, Josh Mansour, Michael Jennings, Dylan Walker, Sione Matautia, Daly Cherry Evans, Cooper Cronk, Aaron Woods, Cameron Smith, Josh Papali, Sam Thaiday, Greg Bird, Corey Parker, and the bench is Boyd Cordner, Robbie Farah, Aidan Guerra, Ryan Hoffman, Ben Hunt, Josh Jackson, and David Clemmer. First, we'll talk about the overall the build up to the game in terms of their previous results and all that. And I think New Zealand they've been so impressive. I really don't think there's been a time where I was like, oh geez, he's not playing very well. Actually, against the Samoa game, they weren't very good. I think it was Samoa. They weren't very good, but they got away with it. I think it was due to a Kenny-Dowell try right at the end. But that was the worst they looked, and I think they shit all over Australia's form, to be totally honest. I think New Zealand have really impressed me. Like I said, Johnson's in really, really good form. So that's a really big danger tonight. And the thing is, I think Isaac Luke hasn't played that great so far. So obviously he can just explode any second. Same as Taumalolo and stuff like that. I think Vadavai is a weakness. Well, it depends how you look at it. With the ball, he's pretty unstoppable with the ball, but in defence, he's very suspect, and he's been found out many times. Look at the England game. Ryan Hall, I think it was Ryan Hall. No, Charnley just went past him many times. Including the try. He might have even scored 2 tries, I can't remember, but yeah, Vadavai hasn't been impressive for me, but at the same time, Gerard Beale isn't any better at all, and I pick Manu every day over him. Lewis Brown, I was really surprised he didn't get to play last week, but he's back in this week, I think due to an injury for Lulawai, and I just think Brown, in the games he's played this year, in this Four Nations, he's been incredible. Plus he offers more versatility. So he can play hooker, he can play in the forwards, play centre. He's a jack of all trades really in rugby league. That's enough about New Zealand. Move on to the Kangaroo side. Now, I've not been impressed with the Kangaroos at all for the most part. Obviously against Samoa, they were pretty good against Samoa, but I think the telling point was just how bad Samoa was. You look at the quality, the standard of football that Samoa had played throughout the Four Nations, and then the Australian game, it was definitely not up to scratch. So for example, Samoa playing at about an 8 out of 10 for the most part, you'd say, as a good side, and in the game against Australia, they're about a 4. Just so many stupid things like tackling plays in the air, and just so many silly penalties, and both centres, I'm a Bulldogs fan, but Lafai was pretty shitty in defence, as was Leilua. They just weren't effective, even though periods of the game they did sort of come into it and play alright. Inglis, he was okay. I still don't think he gets involved enough at fullback for Australia and in rep games and that sort of stuff in big games for Rabbitohs. But I suppose he's the best of what they've got. Dylan Walker has done absolutely nothing in my opinion. But at the same time, there's no one else to pick ahead of him. So it's not a bad choice. It's not really Walker's fault. He just doesn't get the ball. Matautia, he's a lot faster than what I thought he was. When he got into space, I was surprised how fast he was. But I think Cherry Evans starting to come good at 5'8". He's strung together a few good games, and I don't know, Cronk hasn't impressed me that much, but Cronk's just a consistent player. He's not a real stand-up player for the most part. He's just a good, solid player. Aaron Woods, not impressed with him at all, and I never have been. But Josh Papali really surprised me last week. A lot more effort in his game, and just overall I thought he had a good game. The bench is where I have a real problem with Australia. How the hell is Robbie Farah even in contention? Ben Hunt should be in there for sure. Josh Jackson should also be there, and so should David Clemmer. David Clemmer is in the turning point in all the Australian games. When he comes on, shit happens. He just tears every team apart. He's a really good player. He's big. He's a big player, and that's what Kangaroos need, especially against New Zealand. New Zealand, their bench is great. Also, their starting props are great too. So they need someone to match him, and we saw in the first game, Aaron Woods just doesn't cut it up against the up against New Zealand. So my prediction for the game is going to be a New Zealand win 13+, just like the first game. And hopefully you'll come back and check out my review of the game, because I'm going to do that in a few days after the game's done. Also, leave in the comments what are your predictions for the game, and also leave your thoughts of the Four Nations as a whole. If you're a Samoan fan or an England fan, leave your thoughts. So I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.